verbs are action and being verbs now. Now we've gone over class 1 and 2. So after class 2, we introduce the be words. So you will say that they are action words and being words. That be words means that the state of being, no action is done, but आपका होना ही एक action है, क्योंकि आप exist करते हो. Existing is the action. So this is one thing not explained in grammar books also. That is why children are most confused. Then simple present tense is what happens again and again. Everybody keeps referring to it as what is happening. It is not what is happening, it is what happens. Present continuous tense, ing only. And whether it is present continuous, whether it's present perfect continuous, any past continuous, future continuous, past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous, anywhere where the word continuous is, it will come ing. Okay. Then we did the future tense. Future tense, a helping verb is will. Anywhere there's a future tense, whether it is future simple future, whether it is future perfect, anywhere where future comes, will has to come, then we see about the rest. The rest is all add-ons, but will never go from the future tense. Okay, then we came to the perfect tenses. Whenever there's a perfect tense, there has to be have, has or had. So if it is present perfect tense, it has to be have or has. If it is past continuous, past perfect, then it has to be had. So have and has is stuck to the perfect tense when it is in present form. Had is stuck to the perfect tense when it is in past form. Now, wherever they are helping verbs, without the helping verb, there is no tense. Because unless that, it is like a lame person. Can a lame person walk without a stick? So similarly, without help, these tenses do not work. Only the simple present is the tense where verbs change form with the subject, number and person. In the simple past, the verb itself changes form. So there is no point in any other change. So that is why simple present, which is a subject, number, which is singular or plural, and the person, first, second, third person. All this is based the subject verb agreement. According to the subject, you have to give the verb. Then we did use of do, does, did, have and has. Now do, does is in present and did is in past. Now do, does is only used in negative and questions as of now. As you grow further, you will know that do, does is also used in positive. But that is much, much later. So at present, you will only tell the children that do and does is used in questions and did is used in the past tense of questions and negative sentences. Now have, has, like I told you last time also, have, has show belonging also, and have, has are helping verbs also. Just like is, am, are, was, were. They are be verbs also and they are helping verbs also. When they are helping verbs, they come with ing. So when there is no ing, they are not helping verbs, they are independent be verbs. Now last time we only did future means will. Now this time I'm telling you sometimes present simple tense is used for future events also. Now this is getting a little more complicated, so please pay attention. Now when is simple present tense used in future events? Now when I say President Obama will visit India next week, now it means intention. He will visit India, or it's a confirmed news. But in the newspaper, you will find President Obama visits India next week, not will visit. Why do we find that? Because whenever we want the listener to think of the future event as something real and happening in front of his eyes, we use the present tense. It gives more reality to the future. Now, future is a concept which is, far away. It will happen. Now, when you say it will happen, your mind is thinking of it as a future event. Now, when you say a sentence with the present tense, knowing, see, visits is used what? It happens. Does President Obama as a habit visit India? No. So, obviously, to the listener, he knows that it's not his habit to visit India. So, it's not present tense. Now, when the newspaper says President Obama visits India next week, it means that picture is coming in front of our eyes. President Obama coming into India, coming off the aeroplane, we welcoming him. So it is more real to us. So that is why only sometimes we use simple present tense for future event. Now just imagine when you're telling your children a story. Now when you're telling the children a story, how does it sound more exciting? Now Shah Rukh Khan came, past tense. Shah Rukh Khan came and he jumped over the pole. Now when you're telling the story to a child, he is listening to it as a story. Now when I say Shah Rukh Khan came and he jumps over the wall. Now when I say this, there is a picture forming in front of your eyes. So I'm using the present tense to show reality. Instead of the past, actually the picture is not going on. I've seen the movie. He's already jumped the wall. But I'm explaining it such that it comes in front of your eyes. So present tense is also used for some past actions. Some actions like this, news items, but not in daily life. Now tomorrow, if I say Neeta will come to school tomorrow, I won't say Neeta comes to school tomorrow. Because it's a very ordinary event. I don't want you to have a picture in your mind that she is coming and you're welcoming her. So these tenses normally are not used, but only in certain situations they are used, so don't get confused. Sometimes present continuous is used for future events, like when I say I'm going to Rome next week. Now I'm going to Rome next week and I will go to Rome next week. It means the same. But I'm going means I've planned it now. The planning is done now, but I will go. So that is why English is such a beautiful language, because it's so confusing. Now when I say I will go to Rome next week, it's my intention. But when I've planned it right now, I'm going to. It sounds more exciting. It sounds that I made the plans. So when you've made the plans, when you're doing it like this, we use the present continuous also in the future. So this much about the simple tenses. Now please look at this timeline very, very carefully. Simple present tense timeline. It's very clear. Simple present tense. Simple present tense. Past is very clear in blue. Future is very clear in yellow. Now means it's not, the action is not happening. He likes ice cream. He could have liked it before also, a little after also he liked. So this is what he does as a habit. That is why all these arrows are put. Because he likes means he generally likes ice cream. It is not that he's liking it now. Okay. Now present continuous tense timeline. She is singing now. That means it is now. It is now the action is going on. So the going on action is the present continuous. What happens is present. The past continuous. Now past continuous, between now and absolute past, the action was going on. She was listening to music means she is not listening to it now. And she did not listen to it and finish it off. Now when I say she was listening to music, again it is a dependent tense. She was listening to music doesn't make any sense to the listener unless you have something else, a past action connected with it. She was listening to music when I came home. So that means my coming home is showing that the time was past. It's not now. When I came home, she was listening to music. The was is showing the action was continuing in the past time. That is why the was and were is used in the past continuous. By and large, past continuous should have some understood past. By itself, the sentences don't make much of sense. Unless I ask you, what was she doing? She was listening to music. Then it makes sense. But if you just come and tell me, ma'am, she was listening to music. Either I should be aware what time you're talking about. I should know that you in some context you're talking about when you were taking the class. So either two actions in the past are happening simultaneously. So when I was taking the class, she was listening to music. That makes sense. because both actions in the past were happening. But just by itself, without any reference, most often past continuous tense does not make sense. Now you see this, see the cursor, now this is now. Okay, the present continuous happens between a little before and now, matlab at present it is happening, this arrow show happening, the continuous tenses. So now happening, action is going on. In the past, happening, action is going on. In the future, happening, action is going on. Now, present continuous is right now I am eating breakfast. So, this action is going on. Now, in the past, I was eating breakfast when my brother arrived. When my brother arrived is showing me that the time was past. I was eating breakfast. At that time when he arrived in the past, I was continuing this action. Okay. Now future continuous. Future continuous में I told you any future tense will तो लगेगा ही लगेगा. Now any future tense with the continuous or any continuous tense with ing has to have a be verb. Now be verb in present tense is am, be verb in past tense is was. Now what about the be verb in future tense is be. So that is why I will for future, be for helping verb. Eating ing. I will be eating breakfast from 9 to 9:30. Now that means that now it is before 9. It cannot be any time. It could be yesterday. It could be anything. But now time is before 9. That means now if the time is 8 o'clock, then I am expressing my intention that what will I be doing between 9 and 9:30. So between 9 and 9:30, I will be eating my breakfast. Do not disturb me. I cannot say between 9 and 9:30, I am eating breakfast. I cannot say between 9 and 9:30, I was eating breakfast. I cannot say between 9 and 9:30, I will eat breakfast. Because will means a definite future. That I want breakfast खा रही होंगी. खाऊंगी नहीं. Now when somebody comes to take my order, I tell him I will eat breakfast at 9. Or I will eat breakfast between 9 and 9:30. Matlab any time you can come and serve me breakfast. That is will. That is showing my intention. But when I want it to be a continuous tense, that between that half an hour, I will be busy eating breakfast. So that is the time I use the future continuous. This is what I just told you, the going to. Going to is used only for planned action. I'm going to travel to Italy. Now this I'm not even telling anybody the time. I'm going to have planned to travel to Italy in some time in the future. I'm going to travel to Italy next year. That means any time period you can give. Come to state verbs. State verbs are the state of being. Of course, all the be verbs are state verbs. Now, there are certain verbs which are a matter of state, of being. They are not active actions. Like last time we said, we cannot use ing with these verbs because they are not an action that is happening. They are just a state of mind, a state of body. Emotion. Now, love. You do not say, I am loving you. I'm explaining the logic now to you. Why can't you use, I am loving you? I love you. प्यार करती हूँ. You cannot say, I am loving you. मैं प्यार कर नहीं रही हूँ. Then hate. I cannot be hating you. It cannot be a continuous process. It's a state of being. I want. I am wanting 2 pencils. Do you say like that? No, because there is no continuous action as this. It's a state, I want 2 pencils. I need some rest. I am needing resting. Similarly, possession. Now, I have 2 cars. So, I have 2 cars is belonging, possession. I can possess. I cannot be continuously possessing 2 cars. So, that is why I cannot use have, has, had in possession sense. But I can use have, has, had when I'm using them in place of an action verb. I am having breakfast. I am eating breakfast, so I am having breakfast. I am having headache. I am suffering from headache, so I am having headache. So all these words, when they are substituted by have, has, they can be used with ing. Similarly, any of these words, all the sense words. I am seeing nahi. I see, I hear, I smell. It seems, I know, I am knowing nahi because I know, I believe, I remember. So these kind of words, why can't they be used with ing? Because they are not active action verbs. They are called stative verbs or state verbs. These are some of the list of stative verbs. Stative verbs are a state of mind, a state of body. Like, fit. Now, in your mind, just make sentences with ing and you'll see how wrong they are. I am liking the mango. The present participle is ing. The past participle is the third form of verb. So because the past participle is used and the tense is present, so it is a little bit of present, a little bit of past. Now, there are two ways of saying this. She made delicious cake. What is the difference between she made delicious cake and she has made delicious cake? Now, present perfect is a bit of past and bit of present. Now, दो उसमें चीजें हो सकती हैं. So, you come to my house. I have made a cake. Will you have it? That means मैंने अभी बनाया है. गरम गरम अवन से लाती हूँ और आपको खिलाती हूँ. खाओगे क्या? लेकिन action is done. केक तो बन चुका है. But I have just made it. So action अभी अभी खत्म हुआ है. आप आ गए हो, मैं आपको केक खिलाती हूँ. So that is one way in which present perfect is used. Present perfect में action has passed, but it has just happened. Okay. Now the second way it is used is action is past. हो चुका है. उससे actually it's a past tense. But उसका जो effect है, उसकी conversation अभी में है. So I have made a cake. Will you have it? It does not mean that अभी अभी अवन से निकल रहा है. I have made a cake मतलब मेरे घर में मैंने केक बनाया था. It could be yesterday, it could be 8 days ago. But उसका मैं आपको offer कर रही हूँ. That is why the effect of that action is now. So instead of saying, I will not say I made a cake. मतलब मैं आपको नहीं देना चाहती हूँ. वो खत्म हो गया, बनाया था, शायद मैंने खा भी लिया है. So the difference is एक एक्शन का जिसका अभी की कॉन्वर्सेशन पे कुछ रेलेवेंस नहीं है. It is past. I made a cake. Then you will ask me, okay, how did you make it? I am not feeding you the cake. It's probably finished also. Even if it's in my fridge, I am not feeding you. Then I will use the past tense. I made a cake. I made a cake yesterday. I made a cake in the evening, last evening. I made a cake this morning. It could be as recent as 2 hours ago. I made a cake 2 hours ago. But it means that you are not being offered the cake and we are not talking about the cake anymore. But when I say I have made a cake, that means my intention is to further this conversation into the present. And then I might say, will you have it? Or I may even say I have made a cake. Then we are talking about the cake now. How did you make it? You will ask me, can I have it? So the relevance of that conversation is in the present. Whether it is a relevance in the present or it has just happened, both are present perfect tenses. The past tense, there is no relevance to the present conversation. Now, when you go for an interview, what do you say? Ma'am, I have done my MA. You don't say, ma'am, I did my MA. I ask you, what have you done? I don't ask you, what did you do? Because the relevance of your MA that you did 20 years ago is now. I am interested in your MA now. That is why I am asking you, what have you done? And you say, ma'am, I have done my MA. I did my MA in 1984. So that is the time I did and finished it. But I have done means this appointment it is relevant what happened in the past. So you use the present perfect tense. Now in Hindi, when you say, मैंने करा था. Tha is past tense. So that is past tense. Now when in present perfect tense, what do you use? मैंने करा है. Kara past, hai present. In Hindi also same. The perfect tense uses hai, the past tense uses tha. Ab hai, what is the difference between present and present perfect? Present is मैं केक बनाती हूँ. I make delicious cakes. So that is what I do as a habit, as a talent, as a general thing. I make a delicious cake. I will not say I have made. Because सामने केक नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है. I'm just telling you a fact that I make delicious cakes. So मैं बनाती हूँ. I am making a cake. I am baking a cake. मैं बना रही हूँ. मैं केक बना रही थी. ऐसे कभी बोलते हो? नहीं. जब वो मेरे घर आई तो मैं केक बना रही थी. Which means I'm showing कि जब वो आई is past tense, तब मैं केक बना रही थी. थी is past tense. मैं केक बनाती थी. That is simple past. बना रही थी is past continuous. Okay. Now when we talk of the past perfect tense. Now present perfect में थोड़ा present था, थोड़ा past था. अब past भी past है और past participle भी past है. Now there are two pasts. Past perfect is never just one action because it is past before the past. Some past action has to be conveyed, and before that past an action that has occurred is the past perfect tense. And future perfect is past before the future action. Now you see there's a future action, and before that future action it's a past. So now actually both actions have not happened. Neither the future perfect nor the future action. Both are to me the future. But there is an action before the eventual future action. That is the future perfect tense. Now, when we talk about the future tense, first of all, the will is there. Yeah, will for the future tense is there always. Then have is there because it's a perfect tense. Now, will have. I will have finished my work before my father comes home. My father has not come home. He will come home. But before that action happens, my action would be past. ना मेरा action अभी हुआ है, ना father घर आए हैं. I have not finished my work, father has not come home. But before he comes home, now will is not used twice in a sentence. This you will even learn in conditional. Actually what it means is, I will have finished my work before my father will come home. Actually it means that. But whenever there are two future actions, anytime, two wills are not used. Two future actions means one we say with will and one with the simple present tense. So that is why I will have finished my work before my father comes home, because father comes home. I will have finished my work before you come home. You have not come, I have not finished my work. But before you come home, I will have finished my work, and then both of us shall go for a party. Understood? So these two actions have not happened. Now what you use instead of will is the present tense, and the present tense, be careful that all rules of the present tense, they apply here also. Your father comes home, you come home, they come home, he comes home. So all the S and ES applies here also. So this is the future perfect tense. Okay, now present perfect continuous, like the present perfect tense. Finished action that influences the present or that has recently stopped. All that is present perfect. The only difference is that it is a continuous tense. Now perfect continuous tense timeline. Now you see, I eat one banana every day. Simple present. I am eating a banana, continuous. Right? I ate a banana yesterday, past tense. I was eating a banana when he came home, past continuous. I will eat a banana tomorrow, future. Perfect. I have just eaten a banana. Okay? That is, action has just happened. I have eaten a banana, I'm too full. Now this, I could have eaten a banana 4 hours earlier. but effect on present on my being full. So I'll not say I ate a banana. I have eaten a banana, so I'm too full. The effect is on present, so present perfect. I had eaten a banana, so I could not eat properly. I could not eat properly, past tense. उससे पहले मैं banana खा लिया था, so past perfect because उससे पहले एक action हुआ था. Okay? I could not eat my meal. I had eaten a banana before that. I will have finished eating my banana, or I would have finished my banana by the time you come home. You have not come home. I have not eaten a banana. But by the time you come home, my eating a banana would be a past action. By the time you come home, my eating a banana would have been a past action. अभी दोनों action नहीं हुए. So this is the future perfect.